Welcome to the Sensible Assessment Practices webinar series, developed by the Performance Office at the Connecticut State Department of Education. This series was developed to complement the Sensible Assessment Practices for 2021 and beyond document, while also embedding key information contained in the guiding documents, Adapt, Advance, Achieve, Connecticut's Plan to Learn and Grow Together, and Plan for Reimagining Connecticut Classrooms for Continuous Learning. My name is Deirdre Ducharme, and I would like to welcome my colleagues, Janet Stuck and Christy Albarino, who will highlight features of our webinar series. Janet, can you describe the purpose of the series?
As you mentioned, the Sensible Assessment Practices document was created to support the return to school this fall for both in-person and remote instruction. It offers guidance to educators, including general and special education teachers, interventionists, instructional specialists, and related service providers on how they can assess their incoming students without necessarily having to test them using formal assessments. The assessment and instructional practices in the document apply to all student learners, including students with disabilities and English learners.
Additionally, the Sensible Assessment Practices document orients educators to the different stages of school implementation, beginning with the summer of 2020, prior to the start of the school year, which is a time for administrators and teachers to review district, school, and individual level data, and to meet with vertical and horizontal teams to plan for instruction and learning in the year ahead. The start of the school year emphasizes the importance of building a community with the new class, while the rest of the school year presents strategies and encourages the use of formative assessment practices for shifting to on-grade instruction with scaffolds and supports. Finally, the end of the school year highlights information related to summative assessments and other district benchmarks that measure end-of-year proficiency on grade-level standards and student growth.
To conceptualize what this would look like in the classroom, we developed the Sensible Assessment Practices webinar series, which are short, focused webinars that provide examples, considerations, and resources specific to each phase of the school year referenced in the document. When designing the series, we considered multiple sources of information from experts, Connecticut's guidance documents, and our own expertise in the field of assessment, instruction, and special populations. The individual needs of all students are paramount when planning for instruction and assessment, even more so under these circumstances. The seminal themes tying each section together were those we prioritized in all our webinars. These themes include building a safe and nurturing learning community, making instruction accessible to all students, and involving parents and guardians in all phases of student learning and engagement.
The webinars, approximately 15 minutes in length, may be viewed in order or by topic of interest. Sessions designed for teachers include start of the school year, building community, beginning with units designed for success, the instruction and assessment cycle, and focusing on sensible assessment practices. An additional webinar is an introduction to EdSite presented by the EdSite team and provides district administrators who manage student data detailed information about individual data using the early indication tool and other EdSite reporting features. These important longitudinal data points can be disseminated to building level teams and classroom teachers as they consider individual learner needs in those with specific classes or cohorts.
Moreover, this webinar series includes associated resources specific to each topic, all available on the COVID-19 Resources for Families and Educators page on the CSDE website, as well as on the Student Assessment main page. Within the series, there are PDFs of the slides with a transcript and a webinar-specific annotated resource page with additional resources beyond those included in the webinar. Many of these resources are available on the Connecticut Learning Hub, while others were shared by national groups and state collaboratives that promote best practices and successful student outcomes in the context of the pandemic. Our intent is to lessen the burden on teachers, and we hope you will use these suggestions to facilitate meaningful and intentional planning and delivery of instruction for in-person and remote learning in the year ahead.
We hope you can benefit from accessing this series on sensible assessment practices. Please contact the Connecticut State Department of Education staff in the Performance Office with any questions you might have. Thank you.